Welcome back to day 3 of 4 days of Santeria, where of course today we are doing the bass line. I've got my bass cranked, so if you can't hear it, just kidding. So if you can't hear it, you know, half-inch iPhone speakers were not designed to transmit bass signals, so put on some headphones or put me on a computer with some bigger speakers. For the intro, grab me an E note on the A string 7th fret, followed by a G sharp note on the D string 6th fret. Now when we go to this C sharp, which is going to be on the A string 4th fret, if you put some headphones on and listen to this particular note, it seems to rattle a whole heck of a lot more like this C sharp is a lower C sharp note, but that's impossible because this is the lowest C sharp note that we have. So maybe we've got a G sharp in the bass, that would be a low 5th. It kind of sounds like C sharp, but it rattles more. So maybe that's the answer. Or just play C sharp, doesn't matter. But then we definitely get to play a little chord on the bass. It's going to be a little B chord. B on the D string 9th fret, and its major 3rd on the G string 8th fret. And that 3, that 3rd on the 8th fret is going to go 8, 9, 8. That's a bass guitar doing a suspended 4 chord. So E, G sharp. I'm going for it. It doesn't sound so good now. Okay. For the intro. And now let's go through verse 1 note for note for note. I think it's best to do this in tiny chunks. I'll kind of just stop whenever I lose track of what I was saying. The pickup note fill, the fill that gets us going, is going to be this one. That is open E string, 7, 9, and then A string, 7, 9, 7. And when we land on that last 7 there, that E note on the A string 7th fret, that is the first note of our verse. That's when the E chord begins. Then we grab the E string 7 to 9 and land back on the A string 7th fret. And then on the D string 7 to 9 as quick little grace notes. Grace notes are notes that barely happen. And that is the E chord section. Okay, so we just did our grace notes, and then the G sharp chord comes in the song, so we are going to descend to G sharp on the D string 6th fret, and then we're going to do the same kind of move we did on the E chord section. Grab the A string 6th fret up to 8, and then back to the D string 6th fret. So, and then he hits a quick A string 6th fret again before returning to the D string 6th fret, and that is the G sharp section. The C sharp minor section and the B section are both fairly simple, but first I would like to define a term. The 5th refers to the 5th note of the major or minor scale of the note we are playing. That sounds more complicated than it needs to be. For instance, if we are playing C sharp, the 5th is located in the same fret, 1 string lower. So the 5th of C sharp is G sharp. In fact, anywhere you are on the bass, the 5th is located in the same fret. I don't even know what note that is, but that's its 5th. 1 string towards your face. Of course, if you're on the E string, there is no string more close to your face than the E string. The 5th is going to be located, a high 5th, mind you, 2 frets higher and 1 string towards the floor. So the 5th of G is D. The 5th of C sharp is G sharp. Now you can find all of your 5ths even if you don't know the name of the notes. In the C sharp section, he grabs his C sharp and just bounces back and forth between that and the 5th. When he goes up to B, he doesn't want to play a high 5th, and the low 5th is located way down here. It's F sharp, so that's not convenient, so he just uses the open E string before he does his going back into it fill. Okay, let's do that whole thing. For the second half of the first verse, it starts exactly the same. You're going to do your going into it fill, and then the E chord section is precisely the same. But when we get to the G sharp section, we're going to play our G sharp on the D string 6th fret. It's 5th, and then making our way down to a low G sharp on the E string 4th fret. So, which leaves us on the E string 4th fret, and we are going to do our wind-up fill from here. So open 4, 6, and then on the A string, 4, 6, land on 4. That's where the C sharp section begins. And then do our E 4 to 6, land on A 4, and then play with a low 5th. So, and then going up to B, it's just B on the E string 7th fret and open E. No going back into it, Phil, because we're not going back into it. We're going into the chorus. Okay, I'll do all that for you. I was super surprised to find while listening to this song with the question of what is the bass line that the rest of the verses are about 97% the same, but there are teeny tiny variations going on there. So, you know, get comfortable with that and add your own flair, or just do that over and over again for the verses. No one will ever call you out. But that's the basic structure of the verses. Now let's do the chorus. The chorus starts on A, so grab the E string 5th fret, and we are going to utilize a high 5th, you guessed it, the A string 7th fret. So, same exact thing, 2 frets higher for B. And then the walk down is going to be A string 7, 6, 4, E string 4th fret, or E, D sharp, C sharp, G sharp. But in his walking and plucking, you hear some open A strings there. And that's the chorus. And there is no going back into it, Phil, going back into the verse out of the chorus. So you'll just be A, B, verse, and so on. And that, of course, takes care of everything, 97% up until the outro thing, which is going to be A string 7, 6, 4, 2, open, 2, and I think I hear the bass play a power chord here. It's A string 7th fret, D string 9th fret, G string 9th fret. Awesome, Santeria bass. Thank you so much for joining me for day 3 of 4 days of Santeria. Tomorrow, of course, we're doing the solo. I'm excited for that. I hope you're excited for that. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.